The Rise Guys Morning Show with Matt Mann.
I think rules suck butt.
9.
Yes, I saw a ghost once.
Paige.
Same old thing all the time.
And Fat Boy.
Get some action.
The Rise Guys.
We're live. Rise Guys Morning Show. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. I keep thinking it's Wednesday. Fat Boy's getting so mad at me because I was like, oh,
What are you going to have?
Chuck will be in tomorrow. He's in Thursday before he gets in Wednesday time.
You got to confuse Chuck. He's like, oh my God, you're going in.
Oh, gosh.
You do it.
The live stream is up. Facebook.com/Rise Guys. At Instagram, YouTube, at The Rise Guys. We welcome our special guest, the Killa Bee.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Starling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? You know, traffic getting here was insane, but I'm so happy I'm finally here.
We've been calling you mystery guest this morning just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
If you couldn't make it again today, we were just going to go drag someone from the office downstairs up and interview them.
Yeah, the mom life, it's a grind. So that always comes first. And that last week we had pink eye, you know, my child got one of those hard on his own. It was like a whole thing. So yeah, it was a little bit of a meltdown last week, but I'm glad I'm here.
I'm glad you're here as well. I'm trying to think. I think you reached out to us. I'm trying to think how I found out you listened to the show. And also, you know, our bare knuckle MMA fighting champion ass kicker.
You know, before I became somebody, I listened to the show and I used to call in. You guys, I've been on the show a couple of times. And like I would call and be sweating bullets and be so mortified to call in. Like, I would call in. So I've been on here a couple of times without you guys even knowing like who I was yet.
Wow. Were you over the red elbow at that time?
No, but I did call about OnlyFans. It was you guys, and I called about OnlyFans, and it was before I started my OnlyFans, and you guys were like, whatever, you're not doing anything wrong, go do it, and then call us back and let us know how it goes.
You have OnlyFans?
Yeah.
What?
I remember because you were getting some odd requests, I guess you could say.
A very odd request, but yeah, I definitely took the dive and, you know.
Okay, I'm going to make a note. We're going to start there, but okay. You live in where you live. You live in the Rock Hill area.
Yes.
Raised there?
No.
Where were you raised?
So I was born in Florida, and I was about 11 years old when I moved up here. My dad got a job at Carowinds and lived here for a couple of years, and then
What did you do at Carowinds? Did you run Thunder Road?
Actually, my dad worked on Thunder Road. He's the head carpenter up there, so he does all the woodwork up there.
That is really awesome.
Yeah.
I want a piece of the old coaster.
I want to make them now.
Big yellow, was the yellow was white. Big white 2x4.
That was the one ride my dad was like, if you get on that, when you get home, you're getting whooped. Like, don't get on it. It's dangerous.
Oh, good Lord.
It shook so much.
Yeah.
Remember every once in a while they roll it backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was brutal.
Yeah.
So let's just cut it. How does your fiance's in here, but how does a beautiful woman decide that she wants to be a MMA fighter, a bare knuckle fighter?
Man, I got picked on a lot as a kid.
Is that what it is?
I got picked on a lot, but I would stand up for myself. I was raised by a single dad. So my dad working at Carowinds, he's single dad, very hard, military dad. Like he was very yes sir, no sir. But my dad always taught me not to take anything from anybody. So if someone picked on me or like wanted to fight, I was like, all right, let's go. And it just kind of turned into, it was a natural thing. I was very aggressive and stood up for myself, and it transitioned me into the sport. And when I got into it, I was like, man, this is something I want to do long term. And everyone thought I was nuts.
So how do you transition? Like, what's the transition? Like, were you getting into real fights with bitches? And like, I can make money off this now. Like, where does that?
It was like more of like, once I got in like a bunch of fights in school and stuff, and I got into the amateur scene, and I just remember winning at my first trophy, my first fight boxing. I did it and I won a trophy, and it just like tickled something. I was like, man, I want to get more trophies. dreams.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to keep going at it. And I kept going at it. And I was like, man, I want to get a check from this. And I just kept climbing. It was a grind. It was hard. It wasn't something that was easy. It took lots of years of like putting something into myself. And, once I finally I used to tell people like, man, I'm telling you, I'm going to make it. And nobody, like, a lot of people didn't believe me. Like a couple did. But I was
Doesn't that motivates you more though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Our boss, when he first came, he loves when I tell this story. He came to work for us. We already worked here. And this was when I was working part-time. And he says, I'm not going to do an impression. You want me to do an impression?
You have to. What do you see yourself doing in radio? I was like, I want to have my own morning show. Really? Ugh. Look at that.
Really? Like he was doing like Roman Reigns. Really? This guy? And then he's the one who signed me to my first contract.
Hell yeah.
The one who did it. Now, it kind of motivated me in a sense, but my big motivation was just to freaking do something that I loved. And it's like you said, not that you'd love to beat the hell out of people, but it's something you're good at. And you're like, oh, wow, I have this passion for it. I can make money with it.
Yeah. And I have 2 boys. So I had a time period where I wasn't fighting, wasn't training, and I thought I would never fight again. I had 2 kids. I'm like, I'm a mom. I can't fight.
Right.
And someone had said to me like, oh, thank God you'll never step in a ring again and you'll never fight. And I remember hearing it and it just burned into my brain. And I was like, you know what? Screw that. Like after I'm healed up, it's time to get back to work. And now I've just like kept pursuing it and got to where I am now. So
you ever feel like you feel bad when you hurt somebody and beat the hell out of them?
No, because they're trying to hurt me. Like they're trying to hurt me too.
There's a lot of back and forth between you guys before these fights go on.
Oh yeah.
So you're probably good and pissed off when you get in the ring.
I heard you say bitches. So I'm like, these bitches, they like to start some stuff and like they like to make it. And the crazy part is, with wrestling and stuff, it's always like fake and put on, and like rarely is it ever fake. Like we really genuinely like tend to hate each other for the most part. I'm the nicest, but like a lot of them like want to start with you just to like because they're jealous. Or
what does your dad say when his albeit military background taught you to defend yourself, but what does he say when you say I want to do this professionally?
Don't get your ass beat. That's what he says all the time. It's funny because my dad, you don't want to see your kids get hurt. So I know that my dad has that, but with me, he has to be such a hard ass that he is like, I don't go get beat up or like something, but then he'll go to someone else and be like, I just wish she wouldn't do this, or I wish like she would, or he'll be bragging like he's like, yeah, my daughter's the coolest and like always brags about me, but never to me. He never like really. He'll tell me he's proud once in a blue moon, but he's very rare. Like he's very hard and stone faced, and I always have to hear it through the grapevine, like that he's like a big teddy bear about it.
Don't break my nose.
Yeah.
We're talking to Tay Starling. She's the Killa Bee. She is give us your list of accolades. What's the best way to describe?
Oh my goodness. So
you've maybe seen her in memes. More on that later.
Definitely the meme. So proudest accomplishment. I'm a mommy, but fighting wise, I'm a professional MMA fighter, boxer, kickboxer, bare knuckle boxer. I'm ranked number 2 in the world in the flyweight division. And they haven't changed the rankings yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm the number 1 contender for the strawweight division. So
holy moly.
Yeah.
Holy
awesome.
Crap.
Crazy to say that.
Well, I mean, it's very rewarding to say that too. For you to be able to say you've had these accomplishments. With the meme. See, Nine, who's not with us today, he's training for his next fight. He made a meme of me. I had one time in middle school, they said, we're going to do a regular school picture, and then you'll do another one that shows your personality.
Yeah.
I decided to take my fishing rod. So if you ever saw the meme of the chunky brown-headed fat kid that says, I gave your mom my other rod last night, that's freaking me. And it got on E-Bombs World and all the different places. And then your meme, I've seen it as you've been the after of how it started, how it ended. I've seen the one of what's the big one?
The Super Bowl one that just came out. It was like Taylor Swift after Travis Kelce gets home.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I got sent that like 20 times last night. Yeah, it's really funny.
So let's
I can't even look at it, man. it's tough to look. See, this is what I've said before. I'm a big, from listening to the show, big wrestling fan.
Yes.
I have a hard time watching women hurt each other. I have such a hard. It's like, oh, that's sexist or whatever. No, it's chivalrous. It's hard to look at. I feel really bad. I want you to win. I just can't watch your fights.
Yeah.
I love the ending though, because you usually win them.
There's a lot of people like that.
It's tough to watch.
Why
is it that the prettier girls are hard to look at? If they're walking in there, hey, this will sound maybe mean, but like if you look like Shayna Baszler or someone walking in there,
Look at this.
that's hard to look at. That's very tough to look at.
But look at me now.
Yeah.
You're gorgeous.
You're getting paper.
Yeah. It's to me, I love being a pretty girl. Like I'm such a woman. I'm such a girly girl. Like I don't have a fight right now. My nails are done. I have to have full makeup, full this, full that. I'm such a girl, but I love that I'm able to go and turn it on.
Yeah.
And be a savage because most of the time when people meet me, they're like, "Oh, there's no way. Oh, there's no way. Oh, there's no like." People don't even believe that meme is me when they meet me. Or like someone in the gym the other day had the meme. They were on the phone with someone and they put the FaceTime on my face and they're like, "Look, she's not ugly." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, the meme, that's so funny. It didn't blow up until 2 years after that fight.
No crap.
Yeah, like it was just so wild out of nowhere. 2 years later, all of a sudden, it was just all over the internet. I'm like, this happened like 2 years ago.
Yeah, just Google Tay Starling meme and you'll see the photo and the various different ones.
I had so much fun. It was a different ball game. Yeah.
How long does it take you to recover from something like that?
It depends. Like I just fought 3 weeks ago now, I think, and I had a pretty nasty black eye and it's gone. And
That latest one was from 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, hang tight. We'll stay on the live video stream. And then when we come back, I have a couple questions. Your fiance doesn't have to come on if he doesn't want to, but I have a couple questions that would maybe involve the two of you.
Absolutely.
Maybe you can look at him and say what he wants to, but nevertheless, more with the Killa Bee live in studio next on The Rise Guys. Morning, everybody.
The Rise Guys, Batman, 9, Paige, and Fat Boy.
These guys are pretty darn dope, if you know what I mean.
This is the Rise Guys Morning Show.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch.
some stupid reason.
No, call me what you want, but don't call me Collect. That's what I always say.
Oh,
I like that. Old throwback.
We're live streaming this, by the way, video wise. Facebook.com/Rise Guys, X, Instagram, YouTube @The Rise Guys. We have. You want to go by Tay or Taylor? I know I've heard it both ways when people talk to you on TV.
It's so funny. I like to be called Tay.
You do,
but it's like only usually like my closest people will call me that. Call me whatever you want. Like
then I'm gonna call you Tay. Then,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
The nickname Killa Bee. Fat Boy and I were talking earlier, and he's like, she probably gets tired of answering that question, but we don't know the answer to it, and could likely look it up.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
From, though?
So one of my teammates, she's actually a pro wrestler. Her name's Lady Tapa.
Yes, I know her.
You know Lady Tapa?
Yeah.
So yeah, she was one of my training partners, and here I am, 115 pounds soaking wet, and she's 210 pounds. We would train and we'd be sparring. This girl hits like a truck.
Yeah, she does.
But I was like, you know what? Like, that's just how I am. Like, we're gonna go and I'm gonna give it everything I have. And every time we'd spar, she'd be beating my ass. And I would throw 150 punches to her one punch. And she was like, you're just like this bee that keeps stinging me. And so it just like all the time she'd be like, what's up, Killa Bee? What's up, Killa Bee? And it just like stuck. So it stayed. And then it became my whole entire personality.
Sorry, I took a clothesline from her. I can attest to that power.
When did that happen?
Oh, we did a booking through Jeff back in the gas house.
Was that the Manny Fernandez thing?
That was after that, but she could work, man.
She's a big woman.
Yeah.
How tall is she?
She's got to be 6 foot something.
Jeez.
And she's 210 pounds. And it's all like, she's not fat. She's muscle and bones and like.
It's all rock.
Yeah. She's like the female version of The Rock is what it reminds
Holy
me.
moly. Now with I'm a fan of yours too. Just like, you said you listen to the show, and there's always stuff that I want to ask, but I don't want to comment on the stuff to ask.
Yeah.
But I see you gallivanting around with a very, very world-renowned porn star by the name of Kendra Lust.
I'm a fan.
Many of you probably subscribe to her pages as well. Had that relationship. It's not called a relationship, but that friendship.
She is a huge fight fan. So she had been to one of the fights I was fighting at and saw me fight live and was just a fan. The funniest thing is I didn't know who she was. And someone said something along the lines like, dude, you're like in these pictures with Kendra Lust. And I'm like, who's Kendra Lust? Oh. And my coach starts like they all start laughing, and they're like, "You never seen her? Like she's been stuck in a dryer a time or two."
That's always her move. She always gets her head stuck in her sink.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then finally, like I see her again, and I'm like, "Okay, obviously this woman is like somebody." Like, and then like she was just so nice and so kind. And then I look her up, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." But she has sponsored me.
You watch any of her work?
One time, like right after like hearing about who she was, I had like been on a website and the first person that popped up was Kendra Lust. And I was so freaked out because I was like, I just was like hugging this woman, and but none of that. She's the nicest. Like she's sponsored me, supports me every time there's any post of mine, anything. She loves women that fighting all in general. So she's awesome. She's so sweet. She's the best.
What does that help? Did you already have your OnlyFans prior to meeting her?
I don't think so.
Did that empower you? Because I've often said before that if I'm a good looking woman, I'm gonna go from town to town and win all the amateur nights.
Yeah,
I will absolutely take advantage of that. But you need to maybe hear it from somebody like, yeah, you could do this or whatever. Because to be very bold and say, yes, I'm going to make an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
People will want to see me in these intimate situations or behind the scenes stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Knowing her, did that kind of push you kind of like, God, there's more to this here than just getting.
I think what I learned from her and what I took from what she does is Kendra Lust separates real life from that. And like a lot of people don't realize like it's such a fantasy different world. Like it's not real. Like it's really not. It's fantasy. It's like you're on there, it's fantasy, it's whatever. Like most people on mine like really don't even want all of that. They just want to talk to me because of who I am and just want to have a conversation and say like, hey, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But one of the things she told me is like with her, like I think she has a daughter or children, and she separates that from that and her husband from that. And it's just like, you have to be able to separate the two. I mean, Kendra Luss isn't walking around getting stuck in sinks. And like, I mean, like
she had a career before that, right? Like she was like a legit nurse.
Yeah. So she's, you know, she's a businesswoman, but that's one of the things I took from her was like separating real life from that. Cause it's hard to, you know, not let that bleed into your everyday life. And
you don't want to bring that stuff home with you.
Oh, absolutely not. It's crazy. People are nuts on there.
Okay, so with the OnlyFans, what's you know, the assumption for OnlyFans is like you're on there and you're doing porn and you're all nude and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen yours. You haven't given me the passcode yet. But what do you do on there? Everybody has their different.
You know, I don't want to like undersell myself because people.
Well, you want people to go check it out if they're interested.
Dang, I thought this was this and it's not. So mine is like definitely like I've shown almost everything, but not everything. I don't show everything, and I'm not on there like doing porn and stuff like that. Like obviously, my boobs and my ass are on there. Like you're gonna see that, and I'm gonna have conversations with you. And that's about it. Like that's another thing. I have boundaries. I have boundaries for stuff. Like I keep what I do with my man separate from OnlyFans. And like, I want he gets his own OnlyFans. He's not getting like I just don't, I got to separate the two.
Like he has an OnlyFans of his own? Like,
okay.
No,
he gets,
like,
he gets the real,
over there?
He gets private.
He gets the real life OnlyFans. He gets to handle it, you know?
Yeah.
But the other people like, and I have to separate that stuff. And there's times I've been like, if I took like a sexy picture and I put it on Instagram, he's like, hey, you didn't send me that. And I'm like, well, I want you to ask me and you want me to send you something myself versus me just sending you something that everyone's going to see and that it's online. You know, you got to separate the two. But I do have a lot of boundaries and, you know, people are crazy. It's easy to get desensitized on there. When I first started, it put me in a phase of like, I didn't even want to have like, not with him. It was just like a period in my life where I was like, I don't even want to have sex. I don't care about it. I think it's stupid because like the way that people were making me feel about it
and the way people treat you,
the way they were saying stuff was just so derogative, like just nasty. And it made me like, oh, like I don't even want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And I would go and it was like clocking in for a job. And then like, I was like, I don't want any part of that.
Don't say the number, but is it ridiculous though? The like this gold mine.
I can tell you life-changing, changed my life.
Oh, wow.
Changed my life. Like I didn't even, like I had a car that was like, I couldn't even afford to fix. And in a matter of weeks, I was able to buy a brand new truck. And
Jesus.
Yeah.
Man,
we're in the wrong business, man.
I know, right?
We should have.
Would people look at our boobs and that?
Yeah.
No.
They
So when people talk bad about it,
right.
like there's been times where I sat and like questioned my self-worth and then I got rent to pay and it's paid.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I suddenly feel better.
I saw your video last week where you're like, F all you haters out there that are like, I'm just out here doing, you would do the same, you know, and I mean, the crap you must catch. I mean, even on a low level, the crap we catch. So I can imagine.
Oh man, I had this huge realization after my last fight. Like I've had performances where I destroyed someone in 20 seconds and looked the best doing it. I had the best outfit, prettiest. I felt my best and people talked about me. And then I had performances where I like didn't do good, worst performance in my life. People were talking about me. I win, they're talking about me. I lose, they're talking about me. So I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, no matter what, someone's gonna have something to say. As long as I'm happy and like confident in myself, then I don't care what anybody else has.
Does it suck to beat somebody that fast after all that training? You're like, what?
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've gotten to the point where I like to have like something like a black eye or like my hands hurting or something. Cause like you work for months. It's crazy. We train for 3 months for a 10-minute fight.
Jeez.
It's a lot. It's a lot of training.
Fight. Yeah.
How much do you work out every day?
I usually train 2 times a day when I'm in camp, 2 to 3 times a day. I have a nutritionist, so I'm eating and my sleep. Like it's not just I go to football practice and I leave and that's it. It's like I'm training, sleeping, eating, recovery, like everything is full body, mental. I have psychologists. Like I have to do this whole process to get ready for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of my life.
It's a full-time gig.
Yeah, full-time gig.
By the way, not hitting on you, obviously, because you're dudes here. I'm really not, but like you look good in glasses. Like the pictures of you in glasses, it's like it's a nice look.
Thank you. I'm trying. You know,
it's not like
wear them when I
I'm
can't
trying
see.
to put on a look, but I mean, it's like, it's a good look.
I try to hide my glasses, so I can't see for anything.
Yeah.
And
Me neither. I
I try
understand.
to hide them, and I can't put contacts in my eyes. So if I have them on,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
usually because I'm like my head's hurting from not wearing.
And you fight with contacts, obviously.
No, I don't. No.
Oh,
Have you ever
wow.
accidentally hit the referee?
No.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
We do have to break here. You mentioned to me that you had a challenge that you wanted to lay out this morning,
Okay.
and that you wanted to challenge. Well, what was the challenge?
The Ring of Fire.
Oh, I mean, we can do it.
You up for it?
I've been practicing.
I mean, I suck at it, but I'll play.
I suck at it too. But
Oh, okay.
I've been
Okay, so
practicing.
yeah.
Are you worse than me?
It'll be like, I'm not saying this like in jest. It'll be better with 9 not here because he's so good at it.
Yeah, he wins all the time.
So this way, it'll be more of like a remedial version of it. Then we can
Right.
like, I mean, for real, because
It reminds me of the video when the guy's like, name a woman. And the woman's just like, yeah.
You talking about Billy on the street, aren't you?
Name a woman.
Hell yeah, man. It's like, yeah, name a woman right now. Go.
It's a woman he's asking.
Just a woman. Yeah. All right.
Woman.
We'll end the video. Taylor, wave goodbye to everyone. And before we go, tell everyone your OnlyFans, because I'm not going to respond to all these damn text messages.
My OnlyFans is free, so I'm going to say that. It's at Killa Bee BKFC. If you type that down, make sure you guys subscribe.
What was it again?
At Killa Bee BKFC. Make sure you guys also check out the Bare Knuckle app. That's how you can catch all my fights at BKFC on Instagram, but the Bare Knuckle app, so you guys can tune in to watch me fight. I have something cooking up, and hopefully we'll be announcing very soon.
Oh, okay.
man.
She's going to fight nude.
No.
Would you ever fight a guy at the same weight?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's just science. I mean, it depends on their experience level. If they just
There you go.
It's science.
All right. The Ring of Fire. We're all going to be slap dab in the middle right after this. Good morning, everybody.
The Odyssey app makes your phone. Get the Rise Guys Daily Podcast. Stream the Rise Guys every morning. Yeah, man.